In this video, we are going to talk about the comics on Final Order Cutoff for the week as we focus in on the indie selections. Final Order Cutoff is the last day that your shops can guarantee their orders for the comics that are listed for Final Order Cutoff. So this week we are talking about the indie comics on Diamond's Final Order Cutoff. We're going to continue doing that because that is the Monday cutoff. It's hard now that some of the publishers are also over on Lunar, but a lot of shops are sticking to using Previews World and Diamond for their indie books unless they are exclusively over with Lunar, which does not really affect anybody. So this week, Final Order Cutoff is June 20th. That is this coming Monday. And that is the date that these books will no longer be able to be guaranteed to be ordered. And if you go to previewsworld.com and you go to the catalog section, go to the Final Orders Due page, you'll see it is broken down from top to bottom, starting with the kind of the bigger publishers, and then finally you'll see into the comics and graphics novels section a lot of the smaller publishers. We're going to start at the top and talk about a couple books from Image. And first up there we have 8 Billion Genies, issue number 3 of 8 from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. Issue 2 was supposed to come out this last week, but has been pushed back 2 weeks, so we are waiting on issue 2 still. But issue 3 has made it onto the list for this week for Final Order Cutoff and says it'll be in shops July 13th, so there might be a small gap between the two issues unless they decide to push this one back as well. But from what I can tell you, issue 1 was fantastic. The whole world, everybody got a genie that gave them one wish, and so of course chaos is going to ensue from that. And they're going to continue to look into the first little bit of time after that event happens and what craziness can occur from that. So that's a fantastic series going on now. Also from Image, we've got New Masters, issue number 5 of 6, getting close to the end here, from Shobo and Shof Coker and Francesco Segala. The rest of the crew, captured Ola and Denari, are forced to flee Tosin's elite agents. They escaped into the dense jungle of Benin and fight their way to the sanctuary of a star pilot temple. But it isn't long before their pursuers catch up with them. I've been really enjoying this series. Shobo and Shof Coker are brothers, and they're putting the series out together. Shobo Coker wrote a series for Boom as well, which was fantastic. Buckhead, really enjoyed that one, so really enjoying the writing here. I do feel like I forget things in between issues, so once I get all of the issues, I'm going to have to reread this series. I think it'll be even better being able to read everything together. Moving on, in Image, we have the next issue of Slumber on the list, number 5. Issue number 4, which just came out this week, and it was fantastic. Tyler Burton Smith, Vanessa Cardinale, and are doing the story. Nathan Fox on the cover art. Robbins, Wands, and Antos also listed in the credits on the title, so probably colors, maybe letters in there as well. Stetson enters Ed's dreams and navigates through an Edwardian dream hotel populated by dozens of creepy Ed lookalikes in a desperate attempt to rescue his dreamscape from Valkyra. Valkyra's dark intentions are finally unveiled. Last issue we had a little bit of a where did Valkyra go and whose body is she controlling now, and it was a pretty interesting little journey that they took there. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Again, this is one I'm not sure if it's ongoing or going to just be a mini series, but we got issue 5 coming out this week. I could see first arc definitely ending in issue 6. We're gonna get the intentions in 5 and maybe a showdown in 6. So we'll move on from Image down. I didn't have anything Dark Horse or IDW to talk about this week. I do know Kanto is on there for IDW, but I am so far behind on Cantos, and I have the trades for the first 2 volumes, but have not started reading them. So we'll go down to Boom, where we have one from their Archaea imprint. This one is Flavor Girls #1 of 3 from Locatelli Kornuski, doing the writing and the art. It says with Eros de Santiago. The singular voice behind Persephone that's our creator. This comes a new magical girls all ages adventure with an environmental twist for fans of Sailor Moon, Save Yourself, and Power Rangers, with colors by Eros de Santiago. Naoko, Camille, and V are the Flavor Girls, sacred fruit guardians of Earth. They defend the Earth, the source of their power, from the threat of ever-looming aliens whose motives regarding the planet and its peoples are not yet, unknown. But Sarah, a normal young woman and a UN applicant just doing her best to save the world, gets involved with the Flavor Girls in a way she could never have imagined. So, 4th Flavor Girl coming? Maybe. But this seems pretty interesting, especially for younger readers, I think, and especially for fans of Sailor Moon. It does have that magical girl vibe going on, like they said, so I thought this was one that people should be checking out if that is something that you are interested in. I've got 2 more from Boom Studios this week. The first one being Grimm, issue #3 from Stephanie Phillips and Flaviano and Rico Renzi. Oh man, this one is just every second of it is so enjoyable. So enjoyable. I love Stephanie Phillips' writing. I love Flaviano's art. It's just so much fun reading this comic, and the reveals that keep happening are fantastic and well executed. So in issue 3, Jess's excursion to the world of the living yields grave consequences when her boss imposes some intense penalties. However, it'll take more than that to keep Jess from breaking the rules, especially with the mystery of why she alone can travel between the worlds motivating her. In issue 1, she somehow traveled into the real world away from this spirit world, and a cop tried to arrest her. And she's not supposed to be able to do that. Only the Grim Reaper is supposed to be able to do that. And she's also the only Reaper that doesn't know how she died, and so she thinks there's some mystery there. Maybe a reason that she can do this. So I'm excited to see what else happens here. I'm all in on this story. It is fantastic. So if you're not picking this one up, go check it out, because it is one hell of a read. There's also a really cool Inhyuk Lee variant cover for this one. Super dope cover. It is an FOC reveal, so your shop wouldn't have ordered it originally, so be sure to let them know if you want this one, because it is only on FOC that you will be able to order this one. Moving on, of course, Something is Killing the Children. Always going to be on my list of things to read. Issue #25. It should be ending this arc. Just fantastic story from James Tynion IV and Werther Deladera and Miguel Muerto doing the colors. First arc of Erica's mission in Tribulation reaches its shocking conclusion in the milestone anniversary issue that no Something is Killing Children will want to miss. Children fan will want to miss. While Erica's blades are occupied with an entity unlike anything she's faced, she receives a phone call with tragedy on the other end of the line. As things look dire, someone Erica once saved may have to find unexpected help to return the favor. Yeah, I just gotta say, this is going to always be a series that I want to read. We have a Peach Momoko 1 in 25 variant for this. There is of course, the Jenny Frizen series of variants, but there's a couple other variants you definitely want to look for. I mean, the 1 in 100 is pretty pretty freaking cool from J.G. Jones. But the one that I'm thinking of is an FOC variant, I believe. There's a 250 variant, which is insane. Yeah, here actually, so it's not FOC. It's a 1 in 25 unlockable. So shop has to order 25 copies to unlock being able to order this one. So if your shop does order 25 copies, they can get this one. It's the Ji Hung Lee variant with our creepy new friend on the cover, and I love this cover. I absolutely love this cover. Yeah, so definitely get this one. Get this on your list, this Ji Hung Lee one. Fantastic artwork, fantastically creepy. Get a little bit of Joker vibes from it. It's just everything that I think this character probably is going to be. Well done. But yeah, the usual variant setup though, with the Frizzen variants, the unlockable, the 1 in 50, the regular ones with the die cut masks. So definitely be on the lookout for these, because this is a series. If you aren't reading it, you really should go pick up the trades and read. But I really believe that this is just one of those series that everyone should check out. So moving on, we are down to the comics and graphic novels section, and first up in that section of books that I'm looking forward to on FOC is By the Horns Dark Earth #3 from Marquesa Naso and Jason Muir, with Steve Cannon on the colors. Elodie, Sagen, and Evelyn set sail for the continent of Yalastra aboard Captain Alkeb's ship, the Wave Splitter. But their journey to the unicorn's homeland doesn't go quite as smoothly as they hoped. Why would it? Of course. Probably going to get pirates. I feel like pirates are coming, which, phenomenal. Issue 1 was just a spectacular return to the world. I love this world. I recently got this. This was the one thing missing from my original Scout Comics Memorial Day sale order, and now it's here, and yeah, I love it. Issue 2 isn't out yet. It probably got hit by some delays, but it should be probably then within the next week or two that we'll see it. Followed by issue 3. It says July 20th is the planned release date right now. Moving on, this one caught my eye. I don't think I'm going to pick it up, but just the name of it caught my eye. And there's a book coming from American Mythology Productions called Florida Man, from Mike Barron, Elias Marins, and Todd Mulroney. It looks hilarious. It's apparently based off of books that were called Florida Man, which are based off of stories of Florida Man from Florida. So just seems like a funny book, and I just wanted to point it out. But I think I'm not picking it up only because I read too many things, and it looks like a good comedy read. So if you're looking for that, go check out Florida Man. Moving down from Scout Comics, Locust, Ballad of Men #1. So Locust, we had a 4-issue first half of the series. We're going to have 4-issue second half of the series from Massimo Rossi and Alex Nieto. I loved the first half of this. So are you ready to return to the world of Locusts? Max's journey, revealed in a series of flashes between past and present, brings us closer and closer to Ford's lair. However, proximity to Ford is the very antithesis of safety, as the fanatical cult leader now seems increasingly ready to devastate everything in the name of his insane religious vision. This is a great post-apocalyptic story from Scout Comics, from Massimo Rossi, who has written so many stories that I've enjoyed. So this one being no exception to that. I'm excited to see it come back on July 20th, if no shipping issues happen, of course, or no production issues, or the usual, but on FOC for June 20th. So moving on, this is funny series that I read. There was a 3-issue series, Man Goat and Bunny Man. It's back for another arc, Man Goat and Bunny Man, Green Eggs and Blam. So of course we've got a cover A. It's Xenoscope, so they're gonna have a sexier cover in there. But then they also have a variant from, it looks like Paul Green. It is a 1 in 10. It looks like FOC variant, and it is an homage to Green Eggs and Ham. I think if you're looking for probably hard to order cover, you know, hard to find later because who's ordering enough copies for this, I guess. Let alone on FOC getting that incentive variant in there. That might be one to check out, but I think it's a cool homage. It's probably going to be a funny book again. The world's greatest monster fighting team is back. Mangoat and Bunnyman are ready to save the world again if they don't kill each other first. Don't miss issue 1 of this 3-part series filled with monsters, mutants, and Bunnyman madness. So I enjoyed the first series. It's nothing serious. It's funny. And so I'm probably going to get back and pick up just the cover A's for this. Maybe I'll get that homage if it's not expensive. Moving down from Behemoth Comics, we've got Neverender number 3 of 6 on FOC this week from Devin Kraft. And issue 1 was fantastic. I loved it. A little bit of I want to say a little bit of a manga-esque vibe to it. I really enjoyed it. Just a fantastic read, and I'm working eventually to get to a review of it, but have not been able to. So, forced to join the Universal Duelist League to simply afford to live in space, Merrick learns what it takes to survive in the ring. Given nothing but a patched-up spacesuit and his wits, can he survive a bout with the Impala, the legendary Legion killer? So, issue 3 of 6 on FOC this week. Moving down the list some more, we've got from AWA Upshot, New Think number 2 of 5. Great cover by Raza, as always. Greg Hurwitz writing. We've got, it looks like Ramon Rosanas and Lee Loridge doing the art. This Black Mirror style anthology examines the rapid proliferation of technology, the cultural and political polarization of the country, and the technocrats that have driven us to such extremes of thought that we need to present the present as something futuristic. Each of the 5 issues is a standalone tale with its own art team. In this issue, a medieval king comes up with a novel punishment for a storyteller whose tale hits a little too close to home. A mouse made of glass so that every aspect of her life is put into public view. A house made of glass. Sorry, I think I said a mouse made of glass. Yeah, first issue of this was fantastic. I love what they're doing with, you know, presenting the present as futuristic and getting you to think newly, new think. So issue number 2 on FOC this week, something you should be checking out from AWA Upshot, and definitely be picking that one up. Next up, we've got a trade paperback of another story by Massimo Rossi, and that is Nobody's Child. Romero Barallo on the art for this one, and this was such a beautiful story about the last albino rhinoceros on Earth, and this special breed is essentially, you could take any part of them and they had a cure for anything for humanity. And of course that meant they got hunted down to almost extinction. Not smart, humanity. But we had this one guy protecting the very last one because he did not want this rhinoceros, this kind of outcast in the world, to meet the same fate as the rest of them. And he gave heart and soul to protect this rhinoceros. Beautiful story. Highly recommend anybody check this one out. And here's a chance to pick up the trade paperback. We do still have some copies of our variant for issue number 1 of Nobody's Child. So you're always welcome to shoot us a message on Instagram if you want a copy of it. But at least go pick up this trade paperback because it is a beautiful story. Moving down the list, we've got one from Black Caravan, the horror imprint of Scout Comics. Playthings number 2. Creepy, creepy cover. John Clark writing, Travis Williamson doing the art, John Clark doing the cover. That is creepy. The toy clown is alive somehow, and now it has a knife. It's inside the house, determined to find Allison's daughter. Allison must stop it, but how do you stop something that's impossible? And what if it isn't alone? This first issue was creepy. It's going to make you really afraid of dolls. And that's all I'm going to say. But if you want to be afraid of dolls, already are afraid of dolls, and, you know, want to validate that fear, read this. Read Playthings. Great, great first issue on this one. Continue down the list, we got Mad Cave Studios Potions Inc. number 2. Eric Burnham, Stelladia on art, Natasha Alterici on the cover art. Ran Astera and Astris Jones are seeking the stolen Fordstone amulet that belonged to their parents. What they don't know is that Earth and Primaterra have more in common than they thought, as they learn of another portion of the Fordstone hidden in the strange new world of enormous buildings, rainy skies, and grunge music. So, got these two worlds that are connected, Earth and Primaterra, and we got the father's telling his daughter the story of the world, and he's definitely been there. So that's super cool. And then we got kind of the other side, them finding the Fordstone amulet that was stolen from them. They need the other part. Where is it? It's on Earth. So definitely check this one out from Mad Cave. They've been putting out excellent stories, and this is another one of them. Next up from Scout Comics, She Bites number 1 from Hedwig Hale and Alberto Hernandez R. Elsie Baker is a 134-year-old vampire in the body of a 9-year-old girl. Sick and tired of stupid adults treating her like a lost little girl and not letting her buy cigarettes. Elsie decides to hire a babysitter to be her chaperone. Enter Brenda Zielinski, a suicidal teenager in search of some quick cash so she can buy a one-way ticket to Scotland to jump off a cliff. Despite the generous payday, it turns out that babysitting a vampire might be more trouble than it's worth. I think this could be a very interesting story. I have read the Ashcan, and the art style wasn't what I was expecting to see, but I think it's going to work, especially given that Elsie, though is 134, is a little bit more childlike, and I feel like it gives her more of those characteristics, so it kind of plays those up a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the first full issue, and first couple issues at least, to kind of see where this might go. But the story idea is just fantastic. Moving on, another from Scout is on FOC this week. We got Triskel number 2 from Felipe Pan and Monoramis. I have not fully gotten to look through issue number 1 yet, but I am planning to. I have it right here. It's on my to-read list, and issue 2 is already on FOC. Against his grandmother's better judgment, Alec lets his curiosity get the best of him when the yellow lights he had seen previously in the forest appear before him once again. As the boy's newfound ability is sensed across the kingdom, the shadow of great conflict begins to loom on the horizon. It just looks like a cool fantasy story going on here. I kind of flipped through it and saw that, but don't know more details yet, so I still think this may be something to check out and pick up, though. And last but not least, down at the bottom of the alphabet, we are finally there. We have We Live, Age of Pelodians, number 4, from the Miranda brothers, Roy and Inaki. There's no ground to stop the fall. Barbarism has broken all boundaries. Falling and fighting is all that is left for our heroes. The heart that bonds Tala and Hototo screams with desperation, refusing to accept the cruelty that is taking hold of their destiny. It rains. It rains hard. It's just a storm, silly. Storms always pass. As the last one on the list for this week, We Live, Age of Palladians, #4 from Aftershock Comics. They got Ava de la Cruz on the colors, Dave Sharp on the letters for that one. So that is a pretty large indie FOC this week. So most of these are either coming out July 13th or July 20th, depending on publisher. Depending on delays, they could all get pushed back another week. That is kind of the comic publishing world that we live with right now, with supply chain issues. So we all will roll with it. We'll talk about them when we hit those weeks, and of course give you my top 10 picks of all that. But this is a little bit more exhaustive look at everything that I would consider picking up, I think is worth picking up, or just want to put on people's radar. So that is it. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way to this point and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing? Hit it. It's right down there in the bottom. Hit the bell button so you'll know when new content's being dropped. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you are picking up or ordering for the final order cutoff from your shop. What series out there right now you're loving? What books from FOC that you think are looking fantastic and ones that you want to pick up? And hit that like button. Really appreciate it. Helps the video get seen by more people. So, as always, collect what you love. See you next time.